We're proud that we found a way to win in a game that seemed to have a lot of different emotions, runs, some high-level guard play on both teams, and then Iowa fought tooth and nail for 40 minutes. So great basketball game. We're fortunate that we got this one in the left column.
Right over here with Tom.
Yeah, Dusty, I think back to Vlad early in the year, especially game one, Cleveland State, struggling out, kind of feeling out of place and where he's at right now. What has been the biggest variables that has pushed him forward to what he's been doing lately?
I think the one thing that's understated in all this is being comfortable where you are with your teammates, the new surroundings. It's tough. Just you see it in all sports. Guys get traded, and it takes them a little bit of time to get acclimated to terminology, to the way their teammates play. And so I think that's part of it. He's just been a guy that you can see when he's really locked in and focused. There's a different level of play, and I think now he's finding that level of play. I can't speak on it. He's always been kind of a slow starter. He spends a lot of summer working on adding things to his game and whatnot, and then when it comes time to win, sometimes we forget how difficult it is during the summer. So I think just recently it's been a reminder of how difficult it is to win a possession, a 4-minute game, a 40-minute game. So he just seems a lot more determined, and he's changing the expectations by the game.
Stay on your left, coach.
Dusty, your guards had 35. Two of your starting guards had 35. Two of your big guys had to come by for 33. Talk about how tough your team's becoming to guard and how Trey impacts all of that.
I thought Trey really he set the tone early with tempo. Got downhill, got to the rim, got our bigs some easy baskets. He does a lot for us. He's a game changer on the ball defensively. He gets the ball out of his hands, especially in transition, and so he does a lot for us. We have so many different weapons. You see tonight, Namari didn't get very many shots. Obviously, that's a byproduct of us going for twos, and the attention that three-point shooters are garnering allows us to get shots at the rim. So I thought Will Cheddar was great. I thought our front line played really well. We're getting positive contributions from a lot of guys. There's still a few more on our roster that they're going to break through sooner than later.
Right in the middle with Wojo.
Dusty. When you put together basically almost an entirely new roster, it's going to take time, obviously. On that scale of taking time, do you feel like you're accelerating pretty nicely along here so far?
If you had asked me 2 hours ago, I probably would have said yes. No, I'm joking. I like where we are. We have good guys. It's tougher now that the rotation starts getting shortened a little bit, and some younger guys who are used to being in the rotation aren't playing quite as much because the Big Ten's different. When you're a freshman in the Big Ten, you check in. Turn on any game today. If you're a freshman that checks in, usually they go at you and they test you, and so you got to get to the point. I think Coach Beeline had a famous saying that I'd heard as a young coach. You got to fit in before you stand out, and so everyone on our bench coming into the game that's not a rotation guy, they've got to be able to fit in before they have an opportunity to stand out. So we need those guys to continue to get better. But now is where it gets really challenging, where these games are coming fast, the outside noise, the attention we're getting now. I don't know if we're ranked or not ranked. I don't follow. I think we're ranked in one of the polls, and we're not ranked in one of the other. All the stuff that doesn't matter to me. It does change the complexion of what we think about and things like that. So, but overall, yeah, I like where we are. We have guys who work well together, and they put in the time.
Stay at that table with Andrew.
Dusty, the final basket for you guys, was that how you drew it up?
Yeah, I mean, we thought they would pay a lot of attention to Vlad and Danny in a ball screen that's been so effective, so we just used those two as a decoy, essentially. Trey threw it in. I told them to go at 9. We probably, in that particular play, should have went at 6 or 7. But we wanted to get there early enough. We felt like if Roddy got downhill, Danny and Vlad were going to have an opportunity on the glass. So it's, you're splitting hairs. Do you want to play for the last shot and make sure they don't get another possession, or do you want to get it up off the glass and give you got to feel like you're going to score at least 50% of the time if Roddy can draw help and get Vlad and Danny with a running start going towards the offensive rebound. But hats off to Roddy. He made a really good play. Vlad, Danny set good screens. Trey chased it and looked like an RPO keeper in football, and those guys executed well. So that was option number one. But it was the guys that made the play.
And then at the other end, the fact that Iowa had just been in that
that situation? Did that help you guys with taking away stuff, or you figured they could?
It probably hurts you because we were trying to take away the same concept that they did against Northwestern. And so they did something completely opposite. But fortunately, we took away the I don't want to say the easiest play, because they got it for 1 second left and against a team that switches. They got a decent look. Obviously, Coach McCaffrey's been doing this for a long time and knows how to generate quality shots at any point in a 40-minute game.
Chris?
What made them so hard to defend today? It looks like they got a few more open looks than you probably would have liked.
A lot of things. I mean, they've got those guys. They move really well without the ball. They're cutting. They're poised. They never turn the ball over. And so you're defending continuously for 20 to 30 seconds if they don't score in transition. And they put pressure on the rim in transition by running the floor. Their fives run. I thought their point guard did a really nice job of controlling the game, getting the paint, not getting sped up, just keeping his dribble alive, and just anticipating someone's eventually going to break down. But obviously, though, those shot makers, Sanford's, those guys, man, they stepped up and made some shots, and I thought some of them were pretty well guarded. They made some plays.
And you talked about Will. Can you just talk about his minutes for a second, what he brought in that stretch?
I mean, it's been terribly consistent. Will Cheddar coming into the game and bringing not only intangibles but tangibles as well. I thought his three was I don't remember the exact score, but I thought his three-pointer was another momentum-changing play that ignited our crowd. The positives of playing at home. I thought he did that, and just his day-to-day approach is probably the thing. You look at the 13 points and the 3 rebounds or whatever it is. I don't need, I'm not a big stat guy as far as individuals, but he just brings so much to our group every single day because he's consumed with winning and he's consumed with his teammates. He's always doing things for his teammates. Usually that karma comes back around and you get that back on the back end.
Tony?
Yeah. Dusty, you talked about the game plan for this game specifically, stopping them sort of from running for transition points and then limiting the assist rate. I think they had assists on fewer than half of their baskets. But then you talked about cleaning up the turnovers, and then there were quite a few of those. So I guess how do you weigh the ability to hone in on game plan and excel at that, but still some other issues cropping up?
Yeah, I thought early on the turnovers were the loudest because we were probably over dribbled a little bit going into bad spacing. I don't know. We'll look at it again. Once again, I think we shot about 75% from 2. We didn't shoot well from 3 tonight. I thought they defended 3 pretty well, and we had some good looks that just didn't drop. They looked like they were going in and didn't. But if we can if we can figure out a way to fix this turnover issue, and it's got to be all hands on deck. It's got to be the coaches, the players, the manager, everybody involved has just got to focus more on what we can do individually to fix this problem. And if we can fix it, then our ceiling. I mean, our team becomes a much better basketball team at the drop of a hat. So, it's Wayne talking about it too much and not talking about it enough. But we have enough sample size now we got to figure out some ways to clean this up. But if we do that, then heck, we got a real solid basketball club.
And not to harp on it, but the discrepancy in shots because of 19 more shots. I guess is that pretty much what led this to be in a game today?
Without a doubt. First thing I usually look at is how many more shots we get than the other team, and I've had to stop looking at it because it's frustrating. Now they never turn it over, and we did turn it over, but we also have guys that make plays. They made shots, they made baskets, they shared the ball, and you look at their offensive rebound numbers. They get 15, but it was only 31% of them back. It's not as if that's a couple percentage points more than we want to give up. Than just the sheer number of shots they get, and so it could be a great learning lesson for us. That if we can figure out a way to turn the ball over at that rate, then with our ability to finish around the rim, I mean, we've got 2 guys several guys that finish around. I mean, our guards finish well in the paint for guards. Our bigs are finishing much better. So if we can clean that one thing up, I think also it just energize our defense a little bit more when we're not thinking about what just happened in the past.
Got time for a few more, Sean?
Just to get back to that Cheddar 3, I think it came in a sequence when you were down 3, maybe went up 5. Once they Donaldson also up 3. They were both transition 3s, and neither one of them hesitated. Was just that sort of freedom a part of what you're working on day in and day out?
Man, we trust our guys. To be honest, I thought Trey turned one down late, the one he drove and got a great look. I in my mind, he caught it. There was space. I think there were 7 seconds on the shot clock. I wanted him to shoot that one, but I'm also not overcoaching them. I want them to trust their instincts and play with what they see and what they feel. And we've got good players, so if you have good players, usually if you can figure out a way to put them in a little better situation, then you got to let them play and you trust them. And this group, I mean, if we can, like I said, we can just clean up these turnovers, then this group has a real chance.
Take two more, we'll go Wojo and then Megan.
Dusty, when you envisioned what the identity of your team would be, what you like and what you believe in, do you see it forming right now already?
Yeah, like I said, the most important thing is being connected, and right now I think we're a connected group. Can we become more about each other and more consumed with helping each other? Absolutely, you always can. But yeah, we have a connected group. I envision us being a much better defensive rebounding team. That's probably the one thing that as we imagined what it was going to look like, I thought we would have a dominant defensive rebounding team, and we haven't gotten there yet. We're getting better. I think we're okay. But we have a lot of room to grow in that area, and that's going to be more gradual. But there's a lot that goes into that as well. It's not as simple as just yelling rebound or whatever, or doing a one-on-one rebounding drill. It's got to be a real intentional effort, and that's one of the things that we have to clean up. But that's the only thing I think that when we envisioned this group that looks a lot different than what we thought it would.
Megan?
You have 50 points just off of layups today. 60% scoring. Is that kind of a ratio that you're looking for, just on the layups, or is that a lot?
Yeah, we really just want to take what the game gives us. If you recruit shooters, and we have a lot of shooters, I mean, I don't think there's anyone on our roster that I mean, obviously Ruben's not shooting a good percentage right now. Ruben shot 42% last year on an extremely successful team. When you recruit shooters, you get layups, or then you take the three. So it goes hand in hand. I think that's why we're as successful as we are at the rim, because we have good finishers and our shooting allows us to have space and things like that in the paint. So that's one of the reasons we've recruited shooters, so we can get high percentage twos.
Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.